The 4-2-3-1 second variation has been a staple in FC for many years, and FC 26 is no exception to that. It offers a phenomenal balance of defense and attack, so today I'm going to be showing you guys the best 4-2-3-1 second variation custom tactics to help you guys climb through rivals and qualify for your very first FUT champs. Let's get into it. If this video does end up helping you out, guys, please be sure to leave a like rating on the video. It really goes a long way and helps me out. Also, in the description, there is a link to the new Discord. On there, you will find the new coaching service that is due to go live very soon. But also, I just want to start building up a community on the Discord where we can all communicate with each other a lot easier than we can through YouTube. It's very bare bones at the minute, so if you want me to add any sections on there, please let me know down below. Getting into the custom tactics. So first off, we're going to start with the intel. So I'm going to run you through my team and let you know kind of the key pointers of what you need to go for to get the most out of this formation. So starting off with your attack, out of the front four, the most important thing to note is on your central attacking midfielder. You really need some passing play styles. They get into such good positions for through balls in this formation and the way I've formatted it that I think incisive pass specifically is just absolutely necessary. I think it is so beneficial to have this to the point where I wouldn't use a central attacking midfielder that doesn't have it. My second pointer would be to do with the dynamic of your two defensive midfielders. Now, I would have one that is a defensive workhorse. I think Kante is the best option at this stage of the game with the kind of budget we're all working with. Intercept Plus is humongous at this stage of the game. I would not go for a defensive player that doesn't have at least the silver version of Intercept. It's way too important for this role in this formation. Then your other central defensive midfielder is someone that can have a shot from range, is a bit more of a workhorse, can distribute the ball, just a bit more of a rounded player. It's kind of like having a Kante and then like a De Bruyne, I guess. But you do want someone with a little bit more defensive capability than a De Bruyne. So I can't think of an exact player. I guess like a Pirlo. I guess a Pirlo kind of player is perfect. Endo doesn't fit that bill exactly, but he is a little bit more rounded than Kante to the point where I've got a nice dynamic there. Now, my last tip for the intel is going to be a little bit of a different one, and that is that I would recommend going for a goalkeeper that has the far throw play style. Now, having far throw plus is a bonus. There's probably not many goalies that have it, but at least the silver one, because honestly, the amount of opportunities I get when my goalie receives the ball, where I have the opportunity to pick out a winger who's just completely isolated. I don't know what it is about this formation, but you get wide players in space all the time, particularly when your goalie has the ball. So I'd really aim for a goalie that can just instantly throw the ball to them, just because a kick, the animation takes longer, and the general travel speed of the ball is slower, and it can often be a little bit more looping as well. So I would honestly just go for someone that is capable with their hands, and honestly, this playstyle creates way more chances for me than you would think. Getting into the custom tactics, starting with your build-up style, we're going to have this on balanced. Now, this offers a really good balance, ironically, of players making runs but also coming short. However, you can't just trust the game's AI to do all of this for you. There is a lot of emphasis on triggering runs with L1 and calling players short with R1, because in this formation, naturally, you haven't got loads of attacking options. So sometimes you have to trigger runs to create space and then call them back to get the passing option. And what that does, it like pins the defenders back a little bit and gains you space to progress up the pitch. So you do have to do a little bit of pulling and towing, or whatever the phrase is, to get people into good positions. So there is some onus on you to trigger runs and call players short, but balance will do as much of that for you as the game really offers. Defensive approach is high. It's just a great balance of not being too deep, not being too offensive. You're able to press really well manually with this, while still getting a good amount of the defensive AI naturally doing a bit of the pressing for you and forcing the opponent to act quick. As we get into the player roles, we've got the striker on advanced forward attack, a cam on playmaker balanced, and both wingers on inside forward attack. Now, some of the gameplay that I'm overlaying here for you guys will actually have winger balanced on the left mid and right mid, because honestly both work really well, and I think this is the one instruction in the formation that is important to adapt based on how your opponent is playing. If he's very compact, very just defensive in the middle, I would run winger. You stretch the team out, you create spaces in the middle. If you find that there are gaps and you just want more players central, that's when I recommend going inside forward and then changing the focus to attack. Now, the reason I switched the focus to attack is that with inside forward, I just find they don't get into the positions I want them to quick enough when I have it unbalanced. So that's why I do it with the inside forward. I switch it to attack. With winger, I find the runs they make are very aggressive, so you don't need to switch off of balanced. Just leave it unbalanced, and you'll still get a bit more of the defensive stability then as well. It's really important in this formation to utilise your cam as much as possible, because you've got these two natural triangles in your attack. So you should be passing the ball to your cam with your winger, sending the winger on a run, maybe pass the ball to the striker, drop it back to the cam. At that point, the winger is then in a position for him to be played a through ball to get him through on goal, but it all comes through the cam. And that's why I mentioned earlier the incisive pass playstyle is really important, because you want those passes to be precise, you want them to be weighted nice. You can only do so much yourself. If the player doesn't have the capability to do these passes, they're just not going to go where you want them to go. So play everything through your cam. Your cam is absolutely the catalyst in this whole setup. Not only just between the front four, but also your CDMs here, who are both on holding defend. I use holding defend because I find positionally it's perfect. They don't commit too far, they don't sit too far back. I do prefer it to deep line playmaker build-up, which a lot of other players actually opt for. I do think holding is better in terms of where they position themselves as an all-round option. With these players, your playmaker in the middle, being your cam, plays off of these players as well to create space. Everything comes through that cam. All 5 of those players around the cam should be constantly doing passes in between themselves and the cam. So it'll be right mid to cam, cam to DM, DM to cam, cam to winger, cam to striker, striker to cam, cam to winger, winger to cam, cam to winger again as they've run through. Like, it should all keep coming back to the cam in order to create those openings in behind. The fullbacks are on fullback balanced. Fullback defend is good defensively, but it offers nothing on the attack, which for me is just a little bit stale, especially when you're playing good players. Sometimes you do need that overload on the wing. So fullback balanced is really good. They don't overcommit. They only really come into the attack if you trigger them on runs, but they just naturally sit slightly higher up, so it is easier for you to bring them into the game. I often utilise the overlap, particularly when I've got inside forward on my wingers instead of winger, just because the wide men are naturally tucked in a bit, which means that there's space on the flanks for the fullbacks to overlap. When you're using winger, I don't tend to do it as much because they tend to occupy the same space and they can actually get in each other's way a little bit. It's really worth noting there's this natural triangle between your fullback, the CDM, and the winger. Utilise that triangle there in order to get the ball into a position where you can start linking in your cam like I spoke about a moment ago. As far as our centre-backs, they're on defender defend. The goalkeeper is on goalkeeper defend. There's nothing really here to discuss. I don't want them overcommitting. I just want them to stay back and do a job. That is everything from me today, guys. If these tactics do help you out, please let me know down below in the comment section. Any questions? Resort to the comment section once again. I reply to everyone. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the Discord is now live. Very bare bones, but like I say, if you join the Discord, suggest things that we need to put on there. The coaching service will be going live really soon, which I'm really excited about to help you guys even further than I can in the videos. But other than that, guys, if you didn't make it this far in the video, I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn your bell on. Take care, guys.